Welcome to our Word of Hope. I'm Brother Edward coming to you from Madison, Wisconsin on June the 11th, the Feast of Corpus Christi. Today, this Feast of Corpus Christi is rather a new one in the history of the Church. In the 13th century, the Pope, after the Lateran Council, was very much trying to encourage people to participate more and receive the Eucharist. And he asked St. Thomas Aquinas to write the liturgy of the Feast of Corpus Christi. So the prayers that we're going to be saying today at Mass, and especially this long sequence that we find within the Mass, this beautiful hymn of reflection upon the meaning of the Eucharist, is written by St. Thomas Aquinas. And so we have this reality of Christ's body and blood in real presence within us and accessible to us through the Holy Eucharist. St. Thomas Aquinas obviously writes a great deal about the Eucharist, but one of the points he makes that strikes me very much is he tells us that the Eucharist is the sacrament of love, which makes us love. The Eucharist, a sacrament of love that makes us love. Another way to look at it would be that we go and we receive Jesus in the Eucharist, and we, if you will, become part of Jesus. We consume Jesus, and Jesus consumes us in this communion experience, where the body and blood of Christ, which is coming to us with the accidents of bread and wine, are his total self-giving, the total emptying of himself. He's giving us, if you will, his flesh and blood in a total gift. We couldn't think of giving anything more than ourselves in that totality. But Christ, because he is God's Son, is able to do this for us. And by the words of consecration, this bread and wine is transformed into his living presence that we receive. In nurturing ourselves with the Eucharist, we can grow in love in the divine essence of Jesus. So frequent communion is not only encouraged, but I would say is delighted in, because this is a tangible way that we can encounter our friend Jesus and grow in his love. So today on this Corpus Christi feast, if you have a chance, I would suggest you look at that long sequence that St. Thomas writes, which was reflecting in all different kind of dimensions of the Eucharist, and bring us to a deeper appreciation of the giftness of the sacrament of love, which makes us love.